5X, 6P, the 5, the 6. What's up with these names, Google? Hey guys, what's going on? It's Carl here, back with another episode. Checking out the Nexus 5X today, which I've had for nearly 2 months. It sits right underneath the Nexus 6P and is Google's latest mid-range smartphone and is in my favorite colorway of Stormtrooper White. When the 5X was first announced, I thought it was so weird what Google was trying to do, coming out with so many different phones. It was slightly confusing, as the 5X does sit underneath the 6P, as I mentioned. It comes in a bunch of different colors, the standard black, Stormtrooper White, as well as a mint color. If you don't like any of these options, you can always skin it, as I always do to my phones. It doesn't add too much extra bulk, and you can get as many different color variations as you want. Getting back to the 5X, as it is a 5-inch model, it has a 5.2-inch display, 1920 by 1080 with a pixel density of 432 ppi. Isn't the best display on the market, but once again, remember, you are paying for or paying less than some of the other premium flagships. In terms of the actual size, it fits right in between the 6P and the new iPhone 6s. Sliding those two phones side by side, you can kind of get a sense of what the actual size is. On the back, we do have the same rear-facing camera as found on the Nexus 6P. 12.3 megapixels, takes some pretty decent stills, but low light performance is much to be desired. On the back, we also have the fingerprint sensor, which is slightly growing on me. Just remember, you can't unlock it if it's face down on a table. One of the things that I hate the most about the 5X is the actual feel of it in my hand. It feels too lightweight, too unpremium, and just too plasticky. It's completely made out of plastic with no aluminum to wrap around to give it that premium feel, and at only 136 grams, it feels like I'm holding a paperweight. And my smartphones in general, I'd like to have a bit more heft and a bit more premium of a feel while I'm holding on to something. The second thing that I'm not too fond of is the vibration. I'm sure you can turn this off and you can't hear this on camera, but when you're pressing one of the capacitive buttons, or if you have vibrate on, it has a very cheap feel and sound to it. Not a fan. On the plus side, it is running Android 6.0 Marshmallow, and it does run stock Android, and I am the biggest fan, if most of you don't know, of stock Android. It is one of the best, if not, I'm going to say the best operating system currently on the market, and when you couple that with the actual specs of the 5X, they're not the latest and greatest, and it doesn't perform as well as the 6P. It's got 2 gigs of RAM, Adreno 418 GPU, and a Snapdragon 808. Performance is still pretty decent, considering that it isn't the best. Whatever you throw at the 5X, it should be able to handle just like what you throw at the 6P. Just remember, there might be slightly longer loading times, but not too big of a difference. Unless you have both of these devices side by side, you won't really be able to tell. There were the fewest instances of applications crashing and a few errors, but I feel that's to be expected, and overall the performance of the 5X was top-notch, and I definitely attribute that to Marshmallow 6.0 and stock Android. Even when playing more graphic-intensive games, 3D games, multitasking, and pushing the 5X more to its limits, it still performed well without any sort of hiccups. One thing that I still prefer on a larger device is naturally the screen, but it does help that you can hold the phone on the sides where its front-facing speakers are, which are pretty decent and gives it a good sense of sound, better than the likes of an iPhone. In this part, I'm really going to look at the 5X and analyze it and see if it's worth the money and if it's worth it for you to actually pick it up. Most people, when they see the 5X, they will identify it as a cheaper option. $379 gets you 16 gigs, and $429 gets you the 32 gig option, which I'm sure most of you will go for. Compare that to the Nexus 6P, which is $499 for 32 gigs. You can see there's only a $70 difference, and I definitely think the extra $70 is worth it to grab the 6P. It is immensely better of a phone, it is better build quality, it's got a better screen, performs better, and I do prefer a larger screen size. Now, if that isn't for you and you're looking to save a lot of money, definitely there are other options once again. On the left, we have the OnePlus X, which is only $250 for 16 gigs versus $379 for the Nexus 5X. I feel that's a no-brainer. The OnePlus X is an awesome phone. It doesn't have stock Android, but it is fairly close. I think you can see where I'm getting to here with the 5X. It has so much competition, and it would be hard-pressed for me to actually justify to buy one. What are your guys' thoughts on the Nexus 5X? Let me know down below in the comments. But in all honesty, I think there are better options out there. It isn't the cheapest mid-range phone, and there are ones that perform and feel better. But if you do snag one on a good deal, I think it could still be worth it. And if you're really into that stock Android feel, it might be one of your only options. If you guys like this video though, be sure to go crazy over on that like button, subscribe to the channel. It is almost Christmas. Enjoy your holidays. I will catch everyone else in my next episode. Peace.